In this video, I'm going to be talking about how cults use people they take and promise them things just to destroy them because that's going to be their end anyways. But how they will take a person and use them even in their own demise, or whether they're using them in their demise or not, or still using them and putting them in the book or in the story. Because people who sell their souls and who make deals, agreements, oaths, and contracts have an understanding. They are telling us a story. You know what I'm saying? They're already chosen. So anybody that's chosen anyways, because that's an above divine thing from God, being chosen. But you can also be chosen for the bad side too. You know, there's people who are chosen, but fortunately they was raised in the cult, they're from a cult, and they're wired a certain way. But even God rescue some of those people, and they have testimony. He'll, because he still created them, he still made them. As long as they're not tainted or too dark or have some evil mark or not fully human, then hey, you belong with who you belong with, and you'll be damned just like the rest of them. But if anything, God loves man. He loves man. He just doesn't like their evilness. He wants them to change that and change their ways. So anyways, that being said about the all-loving mighty God, here in this video, I'm going to talk about how they do these things, and I'm going to decode them. I'm going to decode. I'm going to do some decoding. And in particular, in this video, the one that I chose and decided to do decoding with, again, yes, I am doing this decoding again, because this is honestly my favorite one. This is the one I like to use. This is my, not favorite, it's my only one I really just like to use because we're still seeing these people. And there's more out there I can do this to, who's told their story, who's done this. But I'm doing this to allow people to get the understanding and see the truth, and how the enemy will disguise things and have them in plain sight. And we could be walking right over it. You know, we could be walking right in the streets of these things while partying, where there's catacombs underneath our feet with bones and skulls in them, and on a poster in plain sight, just with a clown and saying the party is 12 o'clock tonight, and we just can't see. And this is sometimes his traps is he gets so frustrated. He wants to do so bad that sometimes he'll just do his work any kind of way and just plaster it on a poster and just, and he knows he has you under a spell so strong that you're just looking to have fun and a good time, and you're not worrying about that. You probably don't even believe in it. But I'm going to break down this decoding of one of these movies, which I've already done in my past videos. I think I was having trouble with them, so I'm going to do it again in this video, in this part, in this episode of decoding the codes of all decodes of what cults and people in secret societies and witches and warlocks do, especially in the industry and in high places, and things that take place that are all around us and that are of the unseen, of the mysteries of the hallows. I know I sound like crazy narrative reader telling a book story, but here we go. So today I'm going to be decoding Queen of the Adam. And the reason why I'm going to be decoding Queen of the Adam is because a precious chosen, beloved life was taken in the place of that, with evil cult group, evil people that work for the kingdom of darkness, recruit people, sacrifice them, and that are pushing out an agenda to the world, and that do rituals to bring up and tear down. And I'm going to be decoding this movie. Did I say it already? I'm going to be decoding this movie, Queen of the Damned, and the characters that was used in this story, in this book, in this script, to represent the people in real life, and the ones that do their bidding behind closed doors, that use the people that they recruit to the forefront to bring in these puppets to sell their souls. Okay, here we go. Now, I told you guys that when it came to the beautiful Aaliyah, and let's keep this in mind, she did make an agreement. She did sign a deal. Now, we don't know what her beliefs was, if she was into to, those weird things, but she did tell us she had an interest in darkness. Does that make her evil? No. A lot of people are into creepy stuff, horror movies, and that doesn't make them a bad person. That's probably just something she was curious about, wanting to get into, because she's already a sweet, kind person, and people that are of the opposite are curious about the other side of things. So that just could have been her personally, but we all know that it's really not good to be in those things regardless, especially knowing the truth and, being a child of God and of light. Especially chosen, stay away from those things. Don't even play with them. Don't even play with tarot cards or Ouija boards or cult or anything dealing with death, blood, any of Satan's tools or his trap toys, right? Okay, so let me get into it. The characters that are in this movie, if I can remember at some of their names, there is Jessie. I think her name is Jessica. There is Lestat. There is Akasha, and there is Marius, and there are the other people that play their role as not being the main character too much, and the band and the other cult gang group. And I'm going to tell you who all these people represent in this movie, and the people who created this movie and that are literally behind this power of darkness and the energy that was conjured up and brought about in this movie, just put into a script and brought into film and in dark pictures and into film. And the person who played in it, that was their intent. And that is where the energy was directed towards. And it was telling the story about people who are still here today that was involved in that crisis of series down the line a long time ago in that episode. And here we are today. Okay, but someone's life was lost, unfortunately, and taken from that incident. So there's a guy in this movie named Lestat. Now, Lestat is this white guy, English white guy, I don't know if he's a general army in charge of some army. He lost his way and, drifted off to this island castle place, I don't know, off the coast somewhere of the Mediterranean. I could be saying it wrong. I'm just going to say it like that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all which each character represent. I'm just going to go for it. Lestat represents, he's the white guy. That's who he plays. Okay? Now, believe it or not, people really do stuff like this. Okay, there was a movie out called The Best Man, and it was about this guy. It's a famous black movie. He wrote characters in his book that told the real stories of people's lives. This is what people do who love to tell stories. Journalists, people on news anchors, they love to, even if it's like a false flag, they love to just get fame and popularity and talk about it like it's a joke or just, and he got whooped for this. So there's a movie called The Best Man. He wrote a book about all his friends' life and how good his life was and the dark secrets and everything. He put it into a book, just disguised the people's names, and he got whooped by his best friend. Y'all go check the movie out. It's a real good movie. It's a black cinema movie. It's really good. It's great. It's a great friendship, like black version of like the Friends like show, but it's like a movie. It's really good. And they also came out with a series of it. I think it was like a 1 and 2, and they came out with a movie. Moving on. Lestat is the guy. So Lestat represents Jay-Z. We're going to say Lestat represents Jay-Z, because he does. He represents Jay-Z. Now, Marius is already a vampire. Now, Lestat was not a vampire in the beginning of the movie when we ran into him. He was not a vampire yet. But he stumbled across the wrong territory. He just somehow incidentally just ended up there. They gotta make a reason as to how and why he became a victim anyways. He ended up on their territory, right? So if you're trying to be famous and you go to Hollywood and you're hanging around all these producers and people and rappers in their studios, just know you're on their territory and they do things their way. And if they want to do rituals and their stuff and what they believe in, and you still want to kick it with them because you're trying to make money and you might roll a different route or may not pay no mind, just know that's who you and your energy is around. Lestat represents Jay-Z. Marius is the guy whose house he accidentally, off of a boat, just landed on in his house. This guy name is Marius. He's already a vampire. Now, we all know that anything that's evil, dark, and demonic don't like humans. So he's already like, okay, I'm just going to bite you. He's the guy, that's just Lestat. He's just like, okay, I don't know who you are. Who are you? I'm scared. So Marius represents... Don't laugh at me. Marius, he represents, not Daisy, he represents Diddy. Sean Combs, Sean Combs has been in the industry. He's already been initiated. He already knows the ropes. He already has sacrificing bodies on his belt. He's already been initiated by The other weirdos, Clyde Davis and the rest, he's already in cahoots with the cult, mind you, okay? The Illuminati. Okay, so he's used that one to recruit others in who wants to be a part of that too. Who wants to be a vampire too? Who wants to sell their soul too? Who wants to change too? And be darker into their greater self and become alive like they're living, but need blood every once in a while. Nothing about them is pure anymore, right? Okay. So Marius represents Diddy. Lestat represents Jay-Z. Now, when Jay-Z is turned, he feels Lestat slash Jay-Z, he comes to life. He feels good. Feels like he coming to this awakening, this other side he never knew was a part of him. The darkness in him has become greater than his light. He's been changed. That's what happened to him. However that happened to him, he's been bitten. So now Diddy, which is Marius, he's showing him the ropes. He's showing him, look, keep the secrets. We walk amongst humans, but we don't let them know unless they want to be a part of us. And if they find out about us, it's best for them to die than for them to be alive and know who we are. Unless you want to allow them to join us, unless you choose them and, you kill them and they join us, but them just knowing about us and you getting caught and them knowing what we do, it's just like them finding out about the cult, because that's not how we do things. You have to kill them. So that happens. They're on the beach, and this guy, these people on this beach, they're playing music and they get exposed, and he has to kill the girl because, that's the cult ways, right? So he hates being this person because everything that he has to be is not living in his truth. He's not alive. He has to keep quiet. It eats him up inside. The things that give him pleasure is the things he gets to enjoy earthly while being damned for all eternity until he gets destroyed by someone, but he just walks around being a sad, lonely, lost, damned person who gets to live forever, but drinks blood, and that's what he does. He kills, and that's the thing that he craves that brings him to life. Even more so, a dark, demonic, blood-sucking, parasitic that needs a living thing to bring them to life. Right? Slash Lestat, Jay-Z. And Marius has showed him the ways. He was already one, already been initiated. He just turned him, which was Jay-Z. Now we know in real life, Jay-Z was coming up back in the day. He was just like the hang-around boy, but he learned the ropes and probably was, I think he's a little bit younger than Jay-Z, I don't know, but he wasn't just coming up yet, but he was still around Puff and all the greats and Biggie and knew all of them. He was like Young Buck. He was young. You know what I'm saying? So that's him. That's who he represents. And until eventually he had to make a choice, which I'm sure he did, and that's why he's at where he's at, because he had to choose and make a choice. And y'all see why he's all dark and demonic today. Now we're going to move along with this story. Now it's going to get good. So y'all know y'all getting y'all popcorn right now. I hope y'all is. Keep up. So as Lestat slash Jay-Z starts to progress and he comes back to life out of his grave, because he's been dead for a while, because y'all know in the early times of Jay-Z, he wasn't really as popular until he got into like the late 90s, closer to the early 2000s, especially when the early 2000s hit. That's when he started to boom. Because some of the people who sell their soul, they do have to wait in line, because there was people before them, and they want to see if they're going to sacrifice them to allow you to rise or just keep them around. But that's what they do. So he probably had to wait, because it was some that was there before him, and even some of them failed because they didn't play the rules of the game. So they want to make sure, and while he was around, he was learning and studying all those things. From the time Biggie died, Tupac died, people who spoke out, he was the closest to Diddy. It's just like when Usher was hanging around him. They learn the ropes. They know how to keep the older signs. That's why they still got their fame, and they're around, and they're smart, and they know how to play the game, and they understand business, because they've learned from the ones who were like a father to them, an evil, dark, devilish father who put them on, and now it's passed on to them. Keep up. So he's famous now. So Lestat is becoming a star because he just has that natural charm about him, because he's dark. The vampiric, dark, hot guy energy is very seductive. The enemy knows how to come off as being very seductive. That's why people still worship these puppets. They can't contain themselves. They love them, although they do dark, evil, magic, occultic rituals in their homes to people behind stage, and they blaspheme the Lord, and they have nothing to do with the Bible. But they'll still say thank God for those awards and the blessings that they got, that they cheated their way through lives by giving up something to have immortality. Okay, yes, I'm going to keep going. So he's on stage and he's famous now. He has, his group and his crew, and he's just in charge. He's the main one. He's famous now. But he is missing something else. He's missing something now. He's famous, he's attractive, and there's people that see that and they're attracted to him. You know, people when people sell their soul, the world, people who are watching them that are like they look at that and oh, I want to date Michael Jackson. They're watching. So there's this girl that finds him attractive too. Now she's somebody in the real world. She has a job. She's stable. She's doing what she does. She also has a father. Now this is Jessie / Beyonce. This represents Beyonce, and her dad represents I don't know Beyonce's real dad's name. I don't, but she has a dad, and that represents he is Beyonce's dad, and the girl represents Beyonce. Now she sees this guy whose energy is so potent, is going throughout the earth because he's famous, and she desires and she wants to be that. And she's also attracted to him, but he has many lovers. Anybody who knows a charming vampire who sucks the necks of men and women, they have many lovers. They don't just stick to one. They have many lovers, but she desires him and she wants him and she wants to know who she is. Plus, in her bloodline of her own, who he is what's actually in her bloodline. Some dark occult practices, some vampiric ways, because her mother, which represents Tina Knowles, is a vampire. And that is the side that her mother never wanted her to awaken up to or to know or to understand, because she's human. She still has a choice to make in life, which route and which choice and decision she wants to make. And unfortunately, her interest, her little teeny bit of interest and more and attraction to that and desiring that, especially with the gift that she already had and what's in her blood probably, and what she holds, which is her voice / Beyonce / this girl in the movie. She was attracted to that and thought, I can be that too if I just allow my delusional dream come true. We all know when Beyonce gets on that stage and she encourages others, she always tells them to what? What's that main famous quote, 4-letter word she says? Just follow your dreams. Follow them. Follow your dream. That's basic. Let me just stop. Follow your dreams. Remember that. Don't take it from me. Don't even take it from her. It's delusional. It's gonna bring you to her demise. But she says follow your dreams. But she had to do a lot to follow that delusional dream. And if she tried to wake up, because people in that cult keep her asleep. Okay? But I'm moving on. So she wants him. So she's curious. She's trying to she wants to be a part of that world. So what do you have to do if you want that? Well, a lot of people who are set apart, sin tempts us, the enemy tempts us, but some people make it an effort to go and make themselves presentable and put on clothes and hang around and be around that just to be accepted. That's what Beyonce did. Beyonce's a good girl. She comes from a good family, a nice steady home with 2 parents that work good jobs, that's taking care of their kids, that she didn't need to be a part of that at all. So in those days, she was hanging around Jay-Z and her partners and going to some of them events where they was too. And she probably saw him there once and there. But was he really worried about her considering her at the time, or hanging around a whole lot of groupies, especially a part of that genre, the hip hop genre, because we all know they all about having girls and gals and money and all that. Beyonce, she's not really seen like that. She's really seen as a good girl. We only know her to really have just only been with one guy, and that's when she was a teenager going to prom with this person. Unless y'all can tell me something I don't know. I don't get into people's personal love life. But in those early 2000s, or was it like 90s leading up to that, they were like hanging around, because when people want to and start to become or want to try to get in the industry, it's all about connections and getting to know people's dads, uncles, sons, certain big dogs in the gang. You got to get familiar with these people. You might work with them. You might be featured on a new album or track or movie casting. Y'all might work with each other. It's business, right? It's kind of like what they're in business. So in this movie, she starts going to where she's curious. She wants to know more. Now, her dad is warning her about the game, about the business, about the vampire world. Like, look, Jessie. Look, Beyonce, look, Jessie, don't go down to New Orleans. Don't go in that vampire bar. Don't go looking for trouble. Don't go in those dark, hollowed, shadowed alleys where they hang out, where it's dark. She doesn't listen. So she dresses up all night. She did it the first time. She did it the second time. I forgot which one was the first time or second time, but I think the second time or first time it was dangerous because, this was the first time. So the first time she went in the bar. And, I told y'all, people in the cult know their own. They know They know who's a part of the club. They know who's a part of society. They know who's marked. They know who's a part of it. She wasn't. She didn't have a mark on her neck. She's never been bitten. She's fresh meat walking into the lion's den, sharks, whatever you want to call them. And all heck breaks loose. Jay-Z, Lestant slash, he just happened to be in the shadows sitting at a booth watching all of this happens, and she's about to die, and runs out, and he saves the day and lets her know, like, look, you don't want to be a part of this, I don't really want you like that anyway, because everybody says that. Like, Jay-Z didn't really want Beyonce like that, but, she wants to be a part of that world. A lot of people who are, they just want to be a part. A lot of chosen people do want to be a part of their own world, and she did, and they will do whatever it takes. A lot of them even hate that about them, and the fact that she has a gift even feels like she has to prove herself more, to be a part of that. And even her parents know the gift that she has and the abilities. That's why they push so hard for her daughter to just go out, because every parent wants their child to be happy, but and the wrong thing, like, come on, we have the power to shift and change things. Don't use it for that. But he's like, look, leave, go. He gets lost. He saves her. And that's what happens. Okay, y'all? Keep up. So now Jay-Z slash Lestant goes back to what he's doing. I'm skipping now. I'm just hitting the points, and I'm just going to explain. I'm decoding the story of this movie, Queen of the Damned, and like I did in my other ones. But I'm just retracting. I don't know what happened to them. I think there was an issue with one of them, but keep up. Jay-Z Lestant goes back to what he was doing. Now, he discovers a talent. He has a favorite instrument. Well, he's already a talent star, a vampire that everyone wants anyways. So he finds, who do you know? The star, the actual one that's already, that's in it already. He finds her. She comes to life. He gets a taste of her blood, her energy. They were seeing each other in real life, guys. They were together intimately, but it wasn't nothing serious. She didn't want to take it further to him. We're pretty sure that Aaliyah allowed everyone to get a chance with her, date people and be with them. A lot of people do that. They look at it like it's nothing, it's normal. You're really supposed to be married as a believer, though. You're not supposed to be doing those things, but people do that. People do that before they get their lives right anyways. That's what she did. But it doesn't give a right for someone to just feel spiteful and hurt by that because he wasn't chosen by her, and he got rid of her. Is what literally happens, because Beyonce felt the same way. Like, she wanted him to choose her, like how he really wanted to choose her to be with him. Talk about a sticky triangle situation. But I really believe and know everyone knows that's literally what it is. People party with these people. People can feel people's energies, vibe in the room. People know what it was. They was around. They hung out like they was family. Come on now. Might as well go sleep in the same bed, use the bathroom with each other, cook breakfast with each other in the morning. These people hung out. These people are family. They are related. They are so related, especially if they're a part of that Masonic stuff. They know. We're talking about black people who come from good homes and who come from good homes, usually who you wouldn't expect come from good homes, like these gangster rap boys, but whoever they know and who their parents were and the money that they've made and how they've made themselves stable, they don't really come from a bad place, because they understand business. They know how to hustle. They've made their money and bread, and they're bringing in people who have that gift and talent that's trying to come out the mud and recruit them and use them as puppets to help the business slash cult slash Rock Nation to even more so. So let me just keep going. So he wants her. Everybody wants her. She's the queen. She's the queen. Everybody wants her. He got a taste of her. They've been intimate, and he wants to see her again. He just don't know where she's at. Now, she's out for blood. She's out to make a name for herself too. She don't even need to. She already is a name for herself, but he's looking for her. And of course, Jay-Z is mad / Marius, because he's like, look, now you want to mess with her? He kind of like, look, now don't mess with her. Like, you shouldn't have did what you did, because we know she's a part of the game, but the cult council really has a say so on who dictates on who she's going to be with and belong to. And the fact that you already been intimate with her, because people who sell their soul, they do control the relationships and people that you join with. You can't just be with anybody. Like, if somebody was famous and signed an agreement, somebody like me, Somebody that's regular like me, or like a friend that I know that's downstream from me, couldn't be with nobody like Chris Brown if Chris Brown fell in love with them. Even if they did sign a deal, it has to be approved by the cult, by the Illuminati Council. It has to be approved. And then if y'all do decide to be together and y'all want to get real serious and all that, y'all can't have no kids until later on. But that's not how it goes. That's not, they dictate and determine who they want you to be with. And they do be controlling situations like that. They do that. They did that to Justin Bieber. They did that to Rihanna and Chris Brown. They did that to Beyonce and Jay-Z. And they did it with this situation too. And unfortunately, they had to get rid of somebody else and eliminate them. Like their life was nothing, because that's what they do for fun. They take life. Anyways, moving on. So Marius is like, look, man, don't mess with her. She's dangerous. Like, we got to stop her. We that wasn't our intention to let her arise or just bring her back. He's like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I don't like my life. Anyways, I'm miserable. You did this to me. I didn't want to be this. You did this to me. But whatever. Jay-Z, no, he made that choice. Anyways, but this is a movie, right? This is a movie. We all got to make up some script line. It's all got to make sense. This is a movie. But I'm telling y'all how they incorporated for real with these people they was dealing with. And they literally put the person in the movie who they was talking about, which was Aaliyah. Okay? So all heck is breaking loose. Now she's causing problems. They making her very seductive, very promiscuous in the movie. She's one to just be. They're making her like, okay, everyone wants her. She's beautiful. She's the queen. Very seductive. Guy flirting with her at the bar, just making her seem like she that one that everybody want. She's been with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? And she just rips those people up in half at the bar. That's the best scene. Everybody talks about that epic scene of her going ham on those people in that bar. So that happens. So at that point, now back to Jay-Z. Now Beyonce is up this guy's alley again. She's trying to give it another try. She's pushing. She's determined. She's showing how bad she wants to be a part of the industry, famous. She keeps running into this guy. It's probably feeling like deja vu to her, like she's putting it in her song, right? And he's just like, look, I don't want you. I eat people. We are not the same. You're a good girl. I'm not. I'm from the streets. Listen, we don't have the same belief. I don't roll like how you do. That's why everybody say, oh, Jay-Z be getting her to do this. He turned her into that way. He influenced her to be this, because everybody know Beyonce is a freaking church girl. We all know that the real side of Beyonce, the one that was lost, the one who we don't recognize and ain't really her no more. Before that, she is a sweet, loving, kind, innocent, good girl, church girl. We know this. Until she sold her soul and got with Jay-Z. Got with him, literally. Let dark people be with dark people, but in order for her to want to be with him, she had to be dark. And that's why she started, people would do that. They would do that just to fit in. They would change themselves and change the way they are just so they can be a part of, just so they can be with somebody, just so somebody can accept them, even in relationships. I've seen this before. I see it all the time, especially people who are not supposed to be a part of that world. They don't belong to that. They just don't. But they'll do it anyways. Regardless, they would do it. But they're hurting themselves. But whatever, however it works out in the end for you, if you think. So who he really wanted finally comes for tuition. He has his show. They finally meet. Him and Aaliyah, Jay-Z Lestat / Jay-Z Lestat becomes intimate with Aaliyah. Now, they add a little story to that. She's evil, chopping up everybody in half like Thanksgiving turkeys. They all on the beach slaughtered. But now that, if it's a for sure thing, now because he wants to be with her, this is a discussion. This is a negotiation with / the cult / the new coming brand name, which used to be Rockefeller Rock Nation. Those people. Those people. And so, because she wasn't supposed to be here anyway. She's just too destructive. She don't want to follow the rules anyway. We've been trying to get her to go this way and do this with her for a long time, and working with her and her dad. And I told y'all the subliminalism in my last video about talking about Aaliyah's sacrificial death when it came to them doing it in threes, and how they've been trying to work with her and her dad, because Aaliyah has the same similar situation to Beyonce too. They both come from good homes. They both are princesses. They both are daddy's girls. They both have a gift and a talent. Okay, they both are the main characters in that story called Juliet to Shakespeare. They are princesses. But it only could be one. And it don't matter how good you is, you do have to follow the rules. And if you already signed a deal, you ain't doing it, we really gonna get rid of you. It would have been best that you didn't know nothing and didn't make an agreement with us and still showed your challenge and just walked away, would have let you go. But the fact you got in too deep and you know certain stuff and was involved in certain parties and did certain things, you can't just leave like that. Because we're scared. We don't want you talking about this. You joined us. You just can't. You can't. You've initiated yourself already just by sleeping with people, just by literally. There are ways of initiation. Many of them, you are a part. You got in too deep. Too deep. Too early. Skipped grades because you were really good and we really wanted you, but you was not. You was too strong. And that's one thing about chosen ones that they have in them naturally. They're installed with that naturally, like speaking out, knowing the truth. There's something that's always going to hit them that convicts them, that tells them something. And then that's when they're going to raise other people up and try to wake them up. And when you do that, because you join them, you in trouble because you belong to them. They hooks and they chains on you. But that's going to remind you before that voice. It's always never going to leave. Every chosen one has that, even if they do make the wrong decision in life. Or literally, or is destroyed. They will always have that voice that will always remind them and let them know who they are. Who is always going to be at the back of their head, the side of their head is always going to let them know. Even if they do change and turn into some vampire or sell their soul, it's going to always be there and convict them. It is. Call it the voice of God. Call it whatever you want, but it's always going to be there. More than people who ain't chosen, and that's called, and just some that's few. But the chosen ones really gonna have that, whether they can sing or not. They always gonna have that. If I was to make the wrong decision, even I would have that conviction, even if I was gonna be a victim or just lost and forever just gone. That would still be a reminder. People, period. Just if they're awake, just period. So the relation has been disapproved. The relationship has been disapproved because Aaliyah is bad. She's terrible. She's powerful. People like it. She a bad girl. She don't play no games. Now, we know people in this world love a baddie. They love a good baddie villain. Like, she beautiful too, and she just slaying. Oh, no. I mean, you could do that. That's fine. But, in most cults, you do have to follow the rules. You have to keep the oath of silence. They wouldn't even let Jay-Z/Beyonce let a girl on the beach know who he was for free. He snapped her neck. So listen, you can't go around and look, you got to change them clothes. You got to be in disguise. You got to, come on. You got to get with the program. She was like, nope, y'all gonna bow down to me. So in real life, I already told y'all how I was, and he was trying to work with Aaliyah and how, things with her dad and even her, but she was the actual problem, okay? So if plan A doesn't work most of the times, they usually have what? Plan B. Plan B was Beyonce, who Jay-Z didn't want, who nobody was even considering, but plan B gonna have to work this go round. We're gonna come up with a style for her, a theme, honeybee, change her hair. She's gonna have to do what we say, and she did. And she got with the guy who she is gonna forever be with, because when you do sell your soul, you can't just be with no regular person, no anybody. You're filled with darkness. Nobody want them curses. They know what type of energy and power you hold, and they're not gonna allow it to affect nobody else. So they're gonna get judged, and God will have to step in, because no, they belong to y'all. I'm done with them. Y'all not gonna touch this one, even if this one don't know me or haven't picked up not one Bible. They ain't as damned as y'all. So y'all take y'all own and go somewhere else. So they don't just let people who sell their soul date or marry whoever they want. No, not at all. Not the ones that's part of a cult. Nope, they don't. They don't do that. The royal vampires don't even do that. And they royal families all over the world don't do that. Don't do that. They either got to be related. Y'all know this. They got to be related. They don't do that. So that's how the Illuminati works. That's how they work in the industry. They work like that. That's the games. That's that. And Jay-Z and Beyonce is that head honcho of power star couple of queen, evil king and queen. And they're at the top, and everybody else falls as like the other lower levels. Moving on. So y'all know what happened. She didn't want to get along. She didn't want to give along to get along. They got rid of her. Okay. The one that she very loved and wanted her and loved, she loved him, and he really loved her though. But she was just manipulating him and really using him to do her evil bidding. And just, she didn't really want him like how he really wanted her, but he just couldn't do it because his loyalty is to P. Diddy, the game, his bros, and Rock Nation, and Dame Dash and the rest of them who was a part of it. And no, that's where his loyalty lies more than it does this chick that he really wants. That really just don't even want him like that. So he turned on her. He like, at least before you go, let me just get one more taste. Man, that happens. Then there's a whole decision comes to a final. They all get rid of her. She gone. That was a ritual in itself. Now, these people, I do believe in real life, these people, that's why people just felt that something was off with this. Even Mary J. Blige said that this was spiritual, that this felt like a decision-making thing when like this just wasn't right. But listen, don't play with these people. Don't touch their stuff. Don't make these agreements. Don't go to those parties. Don't do it. And Aaliyah did all that. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's going to come a point in time where you is going to have to do what they tell you to do. They're going to let you feel free for a little bit and enjoy the little gifts and toys that they gave you when you sell this, because that's what they do anyway. But now it's time for you to, we got work agenda time. Now it's time for you. You can still go enjoy all that stuff, but now it's time for you to wake up to your calling, your new calling that the devil has for you. What you could have been if you chose the good side, what your plans God could have chose you to be. But no, you're going to be used for their agenda and they movies and they music videos and they songs they going to want you to put out. They going to write for you or whatever. Just know you was not allowed to say Jesus or God in your contract. You worship, you show allegiance to them. You going to wear their symbols. They going to let you know that. You under their control. So for the one that's been desperately showing how bad she wants this so badly. Oh, so badly. Because she's already making it dangerous for herself, just hanging around and being around everybody. And just, y'all know once Beyonce got with Jay-Z, she was all in the studios with him and his friends and just hanging out with them. Now she's a part of it now. So they got to do a ritual themselves. Because I really do believe this was done. Because anybody who sells their soul and gets something conjured into them that evil and powerful and great, that type of energy is so potent and big that it shut off the lights in the stadium. And the energy wave that it just has over people who just bow down to this girl so much is insane. I think I told somebody I think I told somebody one time in my life that I didn't really like Beyonce like that, really even look at her like that. And they was just talking about her like she was just, I don't know, the president of the United States that just got elected. And I was just like, I don't care. That's all I said was, I don't care. I don't really like her like that. I was just, and he just got mad at me. They never talked to me again. They looked at me like I was the enemy. And I was just like, oh my God. Start acting funny towards me, eye rolling. I'm like, what are we in? 5th grade? Okay, I guess. But these evil demonic people really have this antichrist-like type of energy over people who really do worship them and like them. I'm just like, look, baby, you can hate me all day. I don't think that's why I was put here on this earth. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And I'm sorry you feel that way. But, so I truly do believe that they did a ritual within they conjured up something. They be doing stuff in those contracts, guys. Listen, like they did this for that destruction of life to have gone so that one could rise. That sometimes when things are done ritualistically and they're birthed and they're unleashed, people die in rituals like that. Something gonna happen to somebody. People that do rituals, people will tell y'all, like, when some of the most dangerous rituals done with the most powerful people in it that's doing this stuff, it is dangerous because people literally lose their lives. Somebody can die by accident. I've heard it before. I've seen it before. It's all on YouTube how people literally lose their lives and nobody knows what happens. They gone. They just ain't here no more. But their soul is gone. They is lost. They is not alive. They is dead. And that stuff is dangerous. You don't play with that type of energy. So I really do believe that they did that. They did that ritual for that one to fall, for that demise of life. That gift that wasn't even supposed to be in that world to begin with, but chose that, and that life failed, and then they did a ritual to unleash something, because I feel like that's literally the energy that was being worked with in that movie with Aaliyah, with that demonic character she was playing anyways, and they did it, and that energy that was conjured up needed a body. Why am I here? To take one of y'all with me? Am I going to go back to, why am I here to just, not just here to just roam? So that energy that they conjured up needed a vessel. It needed a body. And that body was Beyonce's. Because she really ain't going back now. Because why? It helps her sing better and dance. And why? It's because of Sasha Fierce. So that's where that energy went. Right into her. She wanted it so bad. It felt like the lights came on, child. And it must have did because she in it. And guess what? She gets the life, the man, and the glory, and all the rewards and the worship. She get her and that demon. It's really the demon that's getting all of that. Because that's what they want anyway, to feel like a guy. Y'all see it in her eyes when she be on that stage now. Okay? That's the end of the story. Now, that's it. That's the whole decode of Queen of the Damned and how it happened. And the mom at the end of the movie, she represented Tina Knowles. You know, the daughter, she sacrificed herself, but we all know that y'all always want to talk about this Destiny Swap thing. Like, literally, now it's the one who rose that went along, and her whole family followed. And now they all doing good. Okay? That's what happens. Aaliyah failed. Her family suffered. Or sometimes you can just fall and nobody suffers, but people will still benefit off of you, off of your fame, off of your power, off of who you was. They still probably profiting off of Michael Jackson and Prince. That's over. That's a long time ago. But that you can stay rich off of the wealth that they made forever. Like, them people, whoever be taking their money ain't gonna ever be broke. Selena too. Her family, Selena Quintanilla, her family still profiting off her money with the, what they call that, the Fame Walk of Star. They still doing interviews. They still be promoting her stuff every once in a while. And it just be some greedy people. The industry is full of greedy, snake, evil, blood-sucking, predatory people. And the people who are underneath, the people who are in that spot, the people who are over them are the evil counselors who works as the final say so as the judges. Those are the cult people. Those are the people who are robes. Those are the people who are really not human themselves. I mean, they is, but I mean, listen, they don't move like this, and they will get rid of you if they got to. Your life don't mean nothing. You are just a cash cow. You just give us money. Money is time, and time is money. Y'all, and that's it. That's all. I just want to decode that movie and let y'all know who them characters was. And that's where, and at the end of the movie, finally, when all of that happened, she changes. And P. Diddy visits Beyonce's dad, which, you know, Jesse / Beyonce's dad, which her dad was in the movie, was in his office doing his own thing, his own work. And everything was good. You know what I'm saying? He saw his daughter, Jessie, one last time. And she was changed into a vampire, and she left with Lestat, and they just went off into the, not sunset, but the moonset. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, you know, when your child and when somebody does sell their soul and they do have a family behind them that loves them, they eventually want you, that you eventually will have to let go, and they're going to take over. Like, as a parent, you done your job, you did what you can do. They showed how much they wanted it. They made a choice and decision. They grown now. We want them. They made this choice. I told y'all, because when Aaliyah went down, she went down. Nobody else, she was the only one that went down. So you're going to go to hell by yourself. You ain't going to drag nobody else down with you. Okay? So, they was good. Diddy was like, we good from here. We good. You sure you don't want to be one? You still considering? All right, well, we got your daughter. Have a nice day. She'll be fine. She'll part of the club. You'll see her every once in a while, just like how Bella in Twilight saw her daddy. So, you know, and they told her, look, just act human. Just sit up straight. You'll be fine. Drink some water. I ain't trying to be funny. But yeah, y'all, that's how I just want to just decode that movie. I know y'all laughing at me, but that's what they do. That is what they do in Hollywood. They'll put it in a song. They'll put it in a movie. Y'all see who getting in trouble. Come on, y'all. Can we open our eyes? This is some sick. This is sick to me. This is sick. Like, these people. Who is that one guy that's getting in trouble right now? He's going to jail for murdering his girlfriend, and then the whole time everybody's singing this song and listening to this music. It's sick, y'all. It's in plain sight. These people could put out a song tomorrow with a person that's talking at the beginning of the intro of the soundtrack, and it could be something totally dark, but it sound good. And it just sounds like somebody saying something, but it was a part of a ritual. And then after that comes on the song and the beat and everybody just dancing. And somebody died in that song. Isn't that crazy? This guy literally killed his girlfriend. And everybody just singing this song. And he talking about, I wasn't sad that your body died. And just chopped this girl into pieces. Like, and that sad, depressed, emo, dark, clouded, gray clouded song was just all over. People just adding that to their theme song, to their Snapchat pictures. I don't know. Like, I don't be on TikTok and Snapchat like that, but I do be on TikTok and refer people to my channel sometimes and be on there looking at people that I only follow, which is a few. And that's it. But yeah, this is a sick world, you guys. It's a sick world. Y'all gotta have discernment about them disguises that they put out. We already know about the puppets. But the one thing you need to worry about the puppets is just not falling under their spell and following them. Don't follow them. Don't follow under their spell. Because people gonna follow them till they in their grave. And they gonna miss them. They gonna be so sad, but they still gonna be going and try to keep them alive. Listen, the disguise, just be careful. Just be careful, because a lot of those people, a lot of them songs that them puppets put out are really curses and are rituals. Even the beats and some of the stuff that some of those songs that they put out, those are used in like ceremonial magic rituals, and they just added a little seasoning to it that'll appeal to everybody and to the audience of all people, what they'll like, and that's why everybody like they beat. But that's really what that is. You know what I'm saying? That's really what that is. And you know, it's sad these people do this, and some of us know this, and we just decode it and we see it, and we don't even just bother to look that way while everybody's shouting at them. We just go that way and just keep going. We don't want to offend y'all. That's why we know how to leave and just go somewhere else. But I just want to decode that movie because I had did it on one of my other ones, y'all. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do. This was the decoding of Queen of the Damned, and of those people who are in real life to those characters that was in that movie. Peace, y'all.